I'm just trying to figure out how to get this weird screen. How to get this weird. I don't know what buttons I'm pushing here, but I'm just trying to get it back to normal. Here we go. Here we are. Fancy smanchy. Time for some healing to take place. Welcome everybody to the replay. There's no one on at the moment, so this is what I do when I do a live stream when no one's on. It's weird, but it is what it is. This video is pretty much probably going to be one of the most boring videos that you've watched, but in boredom a lot of healing takes place. Okay, because when it comes to healing, the more that we can feel, the more that we can heal. Okay, that's what this video is about, so that we can learn to just sit in presence. And that's where the real healing takes place. Not this spiritual bypassing. There's a lot of spiritual bypassing out there, especially when it comes to our healing. You look around in this new age hijacked spiritual community, okay, there's a lot of bypassing going on, because we can think positively and wishful think our way out of our situation, but reality is, if we don't face the shadows within, the shadow, I mean the grief, okay, the traumas, the anger, the fear, the guilt, the shame, that's all shadow. Look at it like that, that's all the shadow. If we don't face the shadow within, we'll never be able to heal those parts of us. This is the shadow self. And a lot of people go throughout their whole life without even facing the shadow because they're so busy all the time. So in this practice, in this 30 minutes, all I want you to do is just to sit and just to be. That's all you have to do, is nothing. Just sit with me, my friends. All you have to do is just sit and just be. And this 30 minutes may feel boring to you, okay? You may feel uncomfortable. You may break through some parts of you. You may have some parts of you that are going to break through, okay? Because you're bringing awareness now, you've slowed right down. You're going to break through the shadow within. So when we allow ourselves stillness, so just be right now, just be. Bring your awareness to your breath and just sit with your breath. You don't have to do anything, just be. It's not even about meditating right now, it's just being. So when we can just be, this is when our central nervous system can reset. And the reason why we have illnesses and diseases, okay? Hello, nice to see you here, taxi driver. Welcome. Okay, the reason why we have illnesses and sicknesses and diseases and all these things with our body is because we have this stuck energy charge within our body, okay, from old traumas, old grievances, old emotions. It's the old energy, is what I'm trying to say, of the anger, the shame, the guilt, the fear, the grief. Grief is a big one, okay? And that energy just builds up and it just manifests in our body and turns into physical disease. Okay, hi Kevin Jones, you know it, stuck energy charges. It's like a strong energy charge. So when we can just be now, and I don't want you guys to do anything, but just be. Yeah, okay, so just sit with me and just be. And what happens is a beautiful thing happens, okay? The energy is now, because we're pure awareness, we are spirit, we're consciousness, okay? We're not the ego, we're none of that old energy, okay? I will help you release your energy, AIB, just by sitting here, okay, and just being, okay? So, because when we be, okay, and what happens is a beautiful process, because we are the awareness, the light of our awareness, okay, will light up the shadows within. So when you're sitting there, now you're just chilling out and you're not doing, because We're always doing all the time, but we can just sit. Allow yourself 30 minutes to start with if you're not used to that. Just sit, okay? And you may feel uncomfortable. You may feel things swirling and stirring up, okay? You may feel discomfort in your body. You may even present as a headache to you, whatever it may be. Look at it like this. It's just this energy trying to shift, okay? You can feel the energy within you, and you may start to feel emotional. Why am I feeling emotional? Now I've slowed right down. Why am I feeling emotional? Now because that old energy, that old stuck energy, you slowed right down. Now that old energy, okay, can shift, and it may feel like tingling sensations, like Kevin says. All right, you can feel it on your head. You can feel it anywhere in your body. Okay. For example, I've had a headache the last hour or so. Okay, I'm hydrating, drinking water. To me, that's just energy trying to shift. It's an old energy trying to shift. But what people do is they'll go and take the headache tablet. I don't take the headache tablet. I'll sit there. I'll make sure I'm hydrated enough. That's the first thing I check. But then I'll sit present with it. I'll allow myself to experience that headache. I'll lean into it because something's trying to shift within me. So the tingling, you may feel the tingling sensation in your body. You may feel the tears start to come forward. You may feel super emotional. Okay? And then all you have to do is just let that energy shift because it's that old energy. We go through traumas in the past, for example. We go through like severe trauma, for example. Okay? Maybe you went through severe trauma as a child, or maybe somewhere along the way. And our mind, which is the ego, can only process so much at any given time. And then you get to a point on your journey, you've had your spiritual awakening because you've had a glimpse now. Yeah, actually, I'm spirit. I'm experiencing different things now. I'm getting more in touch with my spirit. I can feel the energy within my body. So you're starting to evolve on that sense. But what happens is the shadow needs to come forward. And when your body is so intelligent, your body knows exactly what it's doing. All we have to do is stand out of get out of the body's way and let the body do its natural healing process. Okay, so then that energy will come forward and that emotion will come out, so you can just release that energy. Tears, you may spend a good 15 minutes crying, and sometimes you may not even know why am I crying. A lot of people, they're thinking, oh, put it down to ascension symptoms. But let me tell you, the thing about the whole ascension the whole thing about ascension symptoms is just energy trying to shift. The whole point of ascension is you shifting, it's you evolving, it's you reaching that state of enlightenment. But you can never reach that state of enlightenment, okay, if you're still caught up in the ego. So when this energy is trying to shift and you're pushing that away now because your ego is trying to survive, your ego is trying to push this away. Your ego don't want to feel that. But you need to feel that to be able to release that. That's the only way we're going to heal properly, when we can lean right in and we can feel that. Hi Rita, good to see you again, my friend. Welcome back to the live. Welcome back. So just sit, just be. Feel whatever your body knows exactly what it's doing. Okay? Thank you, I'm flattered. Okay, your body knows exactly what it's doing. We just have to step out of the way. Hi KB, welcome to the live stream. I mean, we can just allow, it's just about having full allowance. Because you think about it, we live our everyday lives and, it's always go, go, go. But no one really takes that time to slow down, okay? No one takes that time to slow right down. You think about it, you sit there and you have a meal. How many people have their meal, okay, watching something or scrolling, okay? When we can just start to practice a bit of presence, okay? Practice a bit of presence. We sit there and we eat our meal in presence, okay? We don't need to engage in anything else. Just practice this throughout the day. Whatever you're doing, just do that one thing. This here, you're going to start to cultivate, okay, presence a bit more. So then when it comes now, it's in the evening now, okay? If I'm not doing the live or whatever, I'll sit here and I'm just completely present. The ego will try to pull me to go and pick up the phone and go on YouTube, for example, or to ring someone, or to get me to go maybe put music on or whatever. Watch the ego, how the ego works. The ego will try to make me do something and distract me, because remember, The ego is always at threat. The ego is trying to survive, right? Okay? The ego is always trying to survive. So then you just recognize that. You recognize the tugs. The ego is pulling you, trying to tug you. Yeah, let's go this way. Yeah, let's go eat. Actually, now I'm going to get up and go exercise now, whatever. When you're just trying to allocate yourself, for example, 30 minutes of presence right now, so that you can heal. Because this is where deep, profound healing takes place. You're sitting there, you're bored. First thing, okay, I'm putting everything off now. Everything's aside. I'm going to sit here for 30 minutes for my healing. Start there. Allocate that every single day. Give yourself that self-love. Give yourself the gift of healing. Okay? You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars to heal. Okay? You don't have to go and do all these different types of courses out there to heal. Okay? We heal by just being present. So when you allocate yourself that 30 minutes, that's time to just allow. This is full-time allowance now. It's time for allowance. I'm going to sit here and just pay attention to my body. Now, I'm sitting here. There's no distractions. I'm not distracted. I'm not part of the ego. I see the ego's trying to pull me, trying to distract me with this and all that. Look at the ego. I see the ego like little entities. However you want to see it. It's trying to pull you and sway you. But I'm so present. I'm here now. Nothing can pull me because I'm present. I'm connected to my breath. I'm in my in-body now. And I can feel the energy shifting in my body. Okay? This is where the healing's at. Medicare ain't going to cover this type of healing. Okay? So, that's right. So, it's about full allowance. Give yourself that whole space for yourself to allow. And then you'll get little dribs and drabs what will come through, because you may have this old energy come up to resurface now to be purified. It's shifting out of you. So then you no longer walk around with arthritis. So you no longer walk around with irritable bowel syndrome. So you no longer have to get about with chronic fatigue, because it's just all coming from stuck energy. Stuck energy. If you've really been paying attention to my teachings, okay, that's why I say presence is everything. We sit in presence. Presence is key. And you start to have emotions start to come up now, because this old energy now, your self, your true self, which is your spirit, not your ego, the real you, feels safe now. You're in a safe place for that old energy to come up to be purified. This is why sometimes maybe when you're sitting there in meditation and you're fine, and then why all of a sudden you start to cry, you purge, because it's an old energy now. Because the light of your awareness, which is you, your spirit, your consciousness, the light of your awareness is just shone now on the shadow within. So now you're able to just release a bit of grief. Hello, my brother, activated pineal. Good to see you here, bro. Welcome. Okay, because it's the light of your awareness. You brought that light of your awareness onto the shadow within. Because all that shadow, accumulated shadow within. And this is what I mean about this spiritual bypassing out there. There's a lot of this nonsense out there. And, you know, people want you to spend hundreds of dollars to do all these different types of fancy courses. And you don't have to spend any money to heal. You just learn presence, and you just learn to allocate yourself 30 minutes a day. Start with that, where you can just sit and you can just be. That's all I want you guys to do in this live stream. Just sit and just be. And then after this, okay, when this video has ended, sit. Please give yourself that gift. Just sit, okay, and just be, okay, and just allow your body to heal. Because our vagus nerve, for example, okay, our vagus nerve has been slapped around through all these traumas. Our central nervous system has been slapped around through all these traumas, all these things, our own personal traumas, let alone the traumas and the collective energy of the world. And we don't allow ourselves at least 30 minutes a day to just slow down when our body can regulate itself again. Okay? Self-regulation just through being, not doing, just being. And such beautiful things happen. Okay? And if you're not used to that, like I said, you may feel bored. You're going to sit there and allow yourself 30 minutes. You may feel so bored, and the ego's going to try and pull you. Oh yeah, I need to get up now. I've got to go. And your ego, watch that ego, my friends. The ego is going to be like, come up with all these things. It's trying to survive. It's like the ego is like, it's like the ego is blocking access to the shadow within, or the shadows are stuck in these chakras. You see, the ego is blocking that. So then you're sitting there and you're allowing yourself, because this is you, this is your spirit now coming through. Your higher self is like, yeah, I'm ready to heal. Yeah, I'm ready to ascend. Right? Now the ego is like, you see how it is. Ego now wants you to get right up. Okay. No, I need to go maybe wash the dishes. Oh, no, gotta go shoot hoop. Oh, I gotta go gym. Oh, I need to go and eat. Oh, maybe I should make a cup of tea. So watch the ego. It's gonna try and pull you. Try to pull you. And you sit there and you feel uncomfortable. Feel that discomfort. Feel the pulls. Feel the discomfort. Feel the anxiety. Maybe it's anxiety. Just feel whatever it is. Whatever's presenting within you. Maybe you're bored right now. Just listen to this. So pay attention what's going on within you. Pay attention to the energy. Is it on your chest? Where is it? Is it an anxiety? Because underneath this energy, okay, it's just all old, accumulated, stuck energy. It's the same thing with intrusive thoughts, okay? What I've learned on my journey, okay, about intrusive thoughts, okay? It's just all old energy. You look at this, okay? Yeah, we learn spiritual hygiene, okay, on our journey. You know, we cleanse with sacred smoke, or maybe you work with the light like myself. You bring that light through, you cleanse energetically, you clear your aura. That's one thing. But and then we have access to, you know, when your third eye's open, you can hear spirit. You have clairvoyant, psychic abilities. You experience spirit. But then also there's, you know, intrusive thoughts. And you wonder what all these thoughts are. And a lot of people, when they have their spiritual awakening, what happens is now, because you've had a spiritual awakening, now what happens is now you're having access to some of your shadow within. And a lot of that shadow can present, because remember it's old energy, a lot of that shadow can present as a lot of intrusive thoughts. And you go to that system will diagnose people with schizophrenia. That's what they're doing out there. They're diagnosing people with schizophrenia, split personality disorder and all that, okay? But really, it's a case of old trauma. It's a case of old ass energy that needs to be shifted. How can we shift the energy if we ain't acknowledging it? It's there. It's there. It's presenting itself. That's why you're hearing all these intrusive thoughts. Pay attention. Are all the intrusive thoughts based around fear? Okay? If the intrusive thoughts are based around fear, what's that's telling me? That's telling me that's that fear energy that's locked in you. Maybe you were a child and you were oppressed. You weren't allowed, you were silenced because you went through some form of sexual trauma, for example, okay? And you couldn't, you were in survival mode now. That shadow got pushed aside, okay? Now you're an adult. That fear energy has been sitting stuck in the lower chakra, down in the root chakra, and it's so dense. That shadow is so dense. And now it's starting to come through, not just as physical, diseases or, symptoms in the body, can come forward as thoughts. So pay attention to whatever the theme it may be. Okay, that's a big one. And all you have to do is just observe it. You just be present with it. Just observe it. Don't try to push it away. Don't try to push away the shadow, whatever comes up. Okay, and maybe it's old grief, it's just sadness comes up, the sadness is going to come up. Don't try to push that away, please, because you'll never heal. Feeling is healing. And after the loss of my son, okay, I had to learn. Okay, where did I qualify from? I qualified from life experience, brother. That's where I qualified from. This is life experience here. I've been through the traumas, I've been through the grievances. Okay, I'm a self-healer. I've gone in, yes, I've worked in mental health. My background is in the fitness industry. I'm a shaman, I'm an energy healer. I put it all together. I go inward, I go in. I find out what's going on, because no one can tell me what's going on with me but me. I've been to psychology. Okay, I did years of psychology through my traumas. I went and did lots of different healing modalities. I did EMDR, the trauma therapy. I did CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. I did all these things. But what I learnt, what's going to light those shadows up, what's going to shift those shadows and transmute those shadows out of me is just sitting like this and being present. So it's evening time, and most people, it's cozy at night time. We get cozy, you put our beanie on and shit. Yeah, we put the TV on. I don't have a TV. That's not my thing. But that's what most people do, right? Put the TV on now, getting all cute, getting cozy on it, and what? Then everything is just still being pushed. People wake up in the morning, instead of spending 30 minutes just being present, okay, straight on the phone and scrolling. How can any shadow be illuminated? How can anything shift within you? How is that disease and that sickness going to shift? We have to get to that point, okay? We have to get to that point where we can start to honor ourselves more and give ourselves the gift of healing. And like I said before, we don't have to do much. All we have to do is just sit and just be present. Just be present with it all. So just sit and just be. When the boredom comes up, just witness that. Watch how you're feeling bored. And then the irritation starts to come up now because you feel like you should be elsewhere doing something else. Observe that irritation. Observe it. Where's it at in your body? Feel it. It's in your chest. You're feeling all right? Well, feel it then, because that's an energy. It's trying to shift. People have a rough day, right? You get home, pour themselves a stiff drink. Or get home, have a smoke. And what? Because they had a tough day. But instead of sitting down after a tough day, because you had a tough day at the office. Maybe you had a tough day out on the job and the tools. Maybe you just had a tough day in general. Yeah? And we'll come home now and just self-soothe with the comfort food, or with the bud, or with the alcohol, or maybe it's gambling, or food, or whatever. But it's like, you're pushing that energy down. So pay attention in your life how you're pushing that energy down. Okay? Pay attention. Why? What are you running from? You don't have to do that anymore. You're safe. You are safe to feel. And the more you feel, the more you can heal. So you come home after that rough day, just sit now. Okay, yeah, acknowledge that. Yeah, I've had a fucked up day. I'm going to sit here now. Everything's off. My phone's on silent. That's it. I'm doing me right now. Because people are too afraid to do them. Because then people feel guilty. Where's that guilt coming from then? Don't bust your head. Just be. And let your body do what it needs to do. Everything will shift. Okay, your mind is intelligent. The human psyche is intelligent, knows exactly what it's doing. It needs to process things. We just have to step out of the way. Okay? And a good place to practice just being and sitting in presence is in nature. It's so beautiful. It's very grounding. It's very calming. You sit in nature, and it's easy to practice this when you're in nature because you're looking at the sky. You're at the ocean. You're watching the beautiful waves. You're in the forest. You're connected to the trees. It's a good place to practice presence. Okay? Maybe you're waiting to pick the kids up from school, or you're waiting for an appointment, or whatever. Instead of sitting there and picking up the phone and scrolling, bring presence in there. Just sit and just be. And you, like I said, you start to feel bored, sit with that boredom. You start to feel irritated, sit with that irritated. You start to feel anxious, sit with that anxiousness so it can shift, because it's just old energy trying to shift. The kingdom to heaven is within. How can we access the kingdom to heaven if we keep running from the shadows when you are the light? That's what you are. You are the light. Your presence, your awareness, that's you. You're the light. We don't have to suffer. We're suffering every time we're running. Every time we're running, we suffer. I see people get to the end of their lives. They haven't done any shadow work. They haven't allowed themselves any presence. And they're on their deathbed with years and years, decades of shadow. They haven't even illuminated because they were a workaholic. They worked their ass off all their life just to retire, just to feel more depressed. What? Just slow down a little bit, because it doesn't have to be us. And then we can set a good example for the youth of these days. We are the leaders of this new earth, right? So it's us. We have to cultivate presence. It's us. As we heal, we teach others how we heal. And like I said, I've tried so many different healing modalities. And this has been the most profound for me. Okay, I purposely moved to the country and lived in the country for the last just over 2 years so I can really go in deeper. No distractions, no family, no friends, nothing. So I can sit there in full solitude and learn the depths of presence and learn that I can lean into the shadows, into the dark shadows. I'm talking the childhood shadows. I'm talking the grief shadows of my son. I'm talking the trauma shadows of sexual trauma. I'm talking fear shadows from childhood. I'm talking deep shadows. And I know that there's nothing to be afraid of because fear, that's just part of the ego. Fear is just part of the ego. And if you're someone who suffers a lot with anxiety, next time you find yourself having an anxiety attack or a panic attack, try this. Be fully present with it. Don't and try to run from it. Don't try to cover it up. Okay? Be with it. Be with that anxiety. Be with that panic attack. Be fully present because that's an energy trying to shift. Okay? I'd experienced the anxiety when I was younger. I didn't know how to deal with it when I was younger. I did all different things. I trained. I tried the herbs. I did all different things. Even a few years ago, I was experiencing bouts of anxiety and I had no idea what that was about. I'm like, why am I experiencing such deep anxiety? It was like I was on the verge of having these panic attacks. But then I learned, okay, I'm going to sit with it and I'm going to lean into it, and it shifted. Because anything that's trying to shift within us, the minute that we put that block there, that resistance, we're going to block it. Okay, when we say, I don't want to feel this, that means you're running from the shadow. And like, yeah, you are the shadow. Like Rita says, we are the light. At the end of the day, we are alone. We only really have ourselves. Right, Rita? Because reality is, yeah, I mean, we're all one, we're all connected. But when we can sit, we just have ourselves. So why can't we go in and really get to know our true self? When we really get to know our true self, we realize that we are the light. And then you just, things start to shift in you and you become more brave and courageous. And it's not to say that once you start to allow yourself to do this, okay, it's not just like you will cry and you will grieve and you'll release the old energy, but it's not to say that, you know, you may sit there and you may have an emotional release for 10 minutes, or you may have an emotional release for 30 minutes. You may even go longer, but then that's it, it will pass. Okay? No state is permanent. Unlike the seasons, it's raining sometimes it's warm, sometimes it's sunny, sometimes it's windy. Remember that when you're going through your emotional purge. No state is permanent. And your body, like I said, your body's intelligent. Your body knows exactly what to do. Your body knows exactly how to purify. And then cool, that's it. Then you finish now, you finish your purge, get up and go about your life. Like recently, I was watching a movie. I don't really watch movies. I thought I'm going to change it up a bit. I'm just going to put a movie on, just send out to that. I don't normally watch movies. I put this movie on, and all of a sudden I got really emotional. It wasn't even something on the movie. I just had this deep cry. Tears started flowing. It was grief. I was thinking of my son Luke. It was grief. I paused it. Straight away, I paused this movie and allow myself to purify. Okay, I lean right into it. Okay, good. I'm not going to block this energy from shifting. I ain't going to stop this healing process, this profound healing process taking place for me. So I paused it. I released. I released for a couple of minutes and I was good. And I pushed play again. And then maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes later, I need to go again. So I paused it. So be mindful of that. Be mindful of the waves. These waves. Your purge is going to come in waves. The emotional release is going to come in waves. So allow yourself those 30 minutes every day. There's a good starting point. Okay, then you get to a point where you're constantly present, and I hope that you're practicing that, because this is what I teach. Okay, is presence. You're present in your everyday life. So whenever you're present, it should be every moment of your life, you heal a lot quicker now. You start to find that arthritis is going to go, diabetes is going to shift, you know, migraines is going to shift. Whatever your symptoms are, it's just because of the old energy. So when you apply presence in your life every single day, your central nervous system is going to calm down. Your body can regulate itself now, because that's what happens. Okay, the body got thrown off whack. So when we sit, we cultivate presence. The body naturally knows how to heal. We just have to give it the right conditions, which is just being full surrender, full allowance. Okay, so I hope that you can just take some time after this video to sit in presence. Give yourself 30 minutes at least. Give yourself 30 minutes, no distractions. Lean into it, just be present, okay? And practice this. Practice this daily, my beautiful friends, okay? Let whatever needs to shift. Know that you're safe. You're not alone. Spirit's got your back. The universe has your back. You are your higher self. You're not the ego. You're sitting there. You're alone. You feel fear coming through. Recognize that. Just watch that. That's just the ego. That's just shadow. That's going to shift. That's what I'm trying to say. We're here to ascend. If you're new here, I'm Susie and I help people ascend. If you resonate, feel free to subscribe. Guys, please hit the like button because it helps my video, my content get more views. And feel free to share my content and drop me a comment below, okay? Until next time, okay? Keep breathing, keep staying present, come back to breath. Enjoy being in the present moment because beautiful things start to happen. It's not just all about the shadow. Your third eye will open more and you'll see blessings are always here. That's all. One love, see you soon. One love.